It's that time again as Iron Country brings you the Fishing Hole. Keep up to date with the latest products and learn fishing tactics from some of the best anglers across North America.
Let's give him a warm welcome this morning to the Fishing Hole. 2014 National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame inductee Dale Stroschein. And this week's guest, we are going to introduce to you Larry Smith from Larry Smith Outdoors. We bring you another fantastic guest this week. It's legendary Al Linder on the Fishing Hole.
And my pleasure to be here, Jeff. Looking forward to it.
Here's your host, Hurricane Jerry.
Good morning, Hurricane Jerry, with you as we talk fishing again in the State Line area every Saturday morning at 7:20 a.m. here on Iron Country 101.9 and 1490. You can stream the show at ironcountry.fm. And today's show is brought to you by Jerry Sports Service in Beloit, located along the Rock River just off of Highway 51. Home of the ultimate fishing boats from Lund. The new line of Lunds are in for 2021, and don't forget, they repair all makes and models of boats, and you can call Jerry's at 608-365-4520 and visit them online at jerrysboats.com. Speaking of Jerry's Boats, Jerry's Sports Service here in Beloit, we got one of the Lund Pro staffers from the Jerry Sports Service, and we've got Doug Ide from Guide Ide Inland Fishing, and Doug guides over on the Walworth County Lakes. And how's it going, my friend?
It's going good, Jerry. How you doing this morning?
I am doing good. Getting ready to do a little ice fishing, hopefully tomorrow. We're going to try to venture out on Lake Kegonsa and see if we can kind of pick up a few perch there out in the basin there. So we'll see what happens. But I've heard the ice up there is a little sketchy in certain areas out there in the basin. So you get definitely a spud bar and is a must. So we're going to try to venture out there and see what we can find. So what's going on over there in Walworth County as for the lakes, Geneva, the ice conditions on Delavan and some of the other lakes? I guess you're over on Pewaukee too, right?
Yes, sir. Geneva's open. There's, last I heard, and this is secondhand, is there was some skim ice on Geneva Bay. That's all I knew about Geneva, or all I know about Geneva. I know Lauderdale, Delavan, Pleasant, they're all doing pretty good. Guys are catching fish. We got decent ice. Pewaukee, as always, has been doing very good for the walleyes for us at night. So
as you're talking, if you're talking decent ice, how much ice are you talking, say, on Delavan?
4 inches is good for me.
Yeah, right. That's walkable ice. Yeah, absolutely.
As you had said about your perch, though, I love chasing perch on Delavan in the middle of our ice season.
Yeah.
And not have enough ice to drive my four-wheeler out to the middle of that lake.
Right. And a lot of those perch hang out in that deeper water, 35 to 40. Maybe do they go a little deeper, possibly, if you can find?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. But a lot of times when we're out there, they suspend on us. It's one of the only things we do where I'll actually tell you your electronics are a must.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was something like that. Now, Doug, right. I know I've fished Delavan in the past, out for perch and too, and we've caught perch. Now, do you guys actually, when you're out guiding, do you actually try to reel them up slow so you don't, blow up the swim bladder? Is it? Really?
You try. You do the best you can.
Yeah.
Where we're blessed on Delavan is the majority of our perch that we get deeper are bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're going to start keeping them at 10 inches, we're going to be okay. I'm going to have a couple that are smaller, but for the most part, they're going to be keepers. So that's truly a blessing for us.
Yeah, right. And the crappie population, how's the crappie population on Delavan right now?
It's both times we've guided them so far this year, we've done good.
Okay.
I won't say we've done great. We've done good. A lot of small ones mixed in, though.
But that's a good sign.
That's a really good sign, but I've probably caught more 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-inch crappies this year on that lake than I've caught in a long time on that lake.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're definitely working and sorting to get into some, 11, 12 inches.
Mm-hmm. Now, you using plastics or wax worms? Spike, always good. Yeah, you're a plastic guy. I know that. Yeah.
I love plastic tipped with a spike.
Yep. That's what we were doing on the Mississippi. Plastics tipped with a spike. Yep.
Waxies are my bluegill go-to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the old rocker spoon with the waxy on it.
Yep.
Them tungsten gold heads that Acme has given us.
Yeah.
I love them things with tipped with plastic and tipped with a spike.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you using the new Acme tackle? What is it? This it's on the tip of my tongue here. I'll almost have to look it up.
Well, Robin gave us a bunch of jigs.
Oh, did they?
Tungsten jigs. So that's what we've been using. And I had a conversation with him about the Hyperglide because, you know, I do a lot of walleyes where we're hitting them with jig and wraps and hitting them with the shiver minnows.
Yeah.
The one thing he explained to me when we were talking about the Hyperglide was I need to slow down. He says, we were talking right over the phone. He said, I can tell you right now, Doug, you're hitting it too hard.
Really?
So, yeah, because I said, you know, Robin, when I hit it, I mean, it even disappears off the screen.
Oh, you're really aggressive with it.
He said, slow it down a lot.
Uh-huh.
Keep it in that strike zone and get it to flutter more.
I got you.
And that's made an amazing difference.
Yeah, that's Yeah, they have the new Rattle and Google Eye. I know those are good, but the tungsten sling blade, that's brand new from Acme Tackle. And were you using that, or were you just using the regular?
I don't have those yet.
Okay, you just use the regular pro grade tungsten jigs. Okay.
Yes, sir. The ones you can buy in the bait store.
Yep. Have you tried? Have you tried any of the Rattle and Google Eye tungsten jigs at all from Acme?
Yet.
Oh yeah, those are pretty good too.
You know, I've been pretty blessed. I haven't had to dig through the tackle box yet.
Yeah, okay. You're kind of going to your normal go-to stuff that you normally do.
Yeah, and my go-to's been going pretty good.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, life's good when that happens. I like that. One of the guys I fish with says, I like it when you struggle, he says, because I learn a lot more. He says, when you're not struggling, he said, it's the same thing we always do.
Yeah.
I said, well, it always works to catch fish. And he says, well, absolutely. He said, but I like it when you struggle because I learn a lot more. Yeah,
because you try to figure it out. You try to crack that code and try to figure out what you can do to put fish on top of the ice here. Hey, if you're just tuning in, we've got Doug Ide from Guide Ide Fishing in Walworth County. Doug guides on the Walworth County lakes over there and other area lakes in southeastern Wisconsin. And today's show is brought to you by Sullivan Tip Downs, made by Skill Tool Makers in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And you can like them on Facebook and watch on Mondays for a chance to win on Make Your Mondays Not Suck. Visit sullivantipdown.com. I just picked one of those up from the Rock River Bait Box. And you've been using those Sullivan Tips Downs, and those are nice. I like those. Those were great for crappies or any panfish, really.
I met James Sullivan this summer, and
he's a character, ain't he?
Oh, he's a great guy.
Yes,
he's just a straight up good guy.
Yes.
And we got to talking a little bit, and he says, "Well, I want you to try some of them." All right, well, I'll try anything. One of the things, though, if you had listened to our podcast last week, he was on the podcast with us.
Yeah.
He said, now, one of the guys that has a lot of them, what they do, because we were just, and this goes back to the subject of talking about perch. When the school leaves, you know how you chase it. He said one of the guys that guides for him sets tip downs, and so you set a tip down 10 yards to your left, 10 yards to your right, 10 yards in front of you, 10 yards behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Drill 10, 15 holes by it. Then when that tip down goes, everybody gets up and goes over there because you know the school went that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought, man, that is like an amazing idea.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that.
Me neither. That's a great tip. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He told me it wasn't his. He said it was somebody that, I forgot the guy's name, but I thought, man, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop you from searching and chasing.
Right. Yeah, fishing open water, Doug, too. I've been up, say, in Mendota, and you can see the school coming because, especially the perch, when they're schooling up and they're coming their way, you can just see everybody setting the hook, and all of a sudden it gets a little closer, next boat, and then all of a sudden, here they are. You can feel them. It's just amazing to see that. But I never really visualized that for ice fishing. That would be a great way to target it. With the Sullivan tip down.
Yeah, I've been pretty happy with them. First day I had them, where I actually put them on the ice, we went over to a pond in Kenosha County, and had my little 11-year-old nephew with. I put a crappie minnow on it. I thought, he'll get some good crappies, and maybe he'll get a little bass. This will just be kind of cool. We'll see how they act. Man, he went bluegill. He was getting 7-inch bluegills on large fatheads. I'm like, oh my God,
jeez,
he must be hungry.
Yeah.
But it was cool. He had a blast, and good way to try a new product is just go get it on a fish.
Right? Yeah. Heck yeah.
They've worked pretty good on walleyes. We are running the Okuma Seamar bait feeders with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that fish can take all the line he wants. And we've got it set to where the flag does come up. We've got lighted flags with the switch, and it's just like how our lights are for our tip-ups.
Yeah.
And they've actually, I've been really happy with them. Oh, while we're on tips here, Jerry, you know how you put your tip-up markers in?
Yeah.
Your tip-ups when you're fishing at night?
Yep.
Because you don't want somebody to run them over?
Yeah. Yep. I always, yep.
James showed me these lights. They're called finger lights.
What are they called?
They're
Finger lights? Finger lights? Okay.
Yes, sir. When we get off the radio, I'll send you a picture.
Okay, yeah, do that.
So you can get 100 of them for $18.
Uh-huh. That's good.
Right, so you're 18 cents a piece. We've been putting them on our tip-up markers at night, so nobody runs our tip-up markers over.
Mm-hmm.
But for what they cost, and what I've noticed so far is they last about 6-8 hours. And at 18 cents, so you spend $1 or $2 a night, no big deal.
Right.
But when you look down, you can't see your tip-ups at night unless the flag goes up or something.
Right, yep.
You look down and you see all these little tiny lights all across the ice. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Yeah. You'll have to send me a picture of that. And then those listening, I will put that on my Facebook page at Hurricane Jury, the fishing hole, on our Facebook page, and we'll talk about that along with we'll have the podcast on too of the show. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, they just sitting there with James, like I said the other day, and he just starts talking about this and he talks about that, and then all of a sudden it's like, man, I sat with you for half an hour and I've already learned this much from you.
Yeah.
What are you doing the rest of the day? Let's go fishing, buddy.
Yeah. Doug, ain't it amazing how, all the guiding that you've done and the people you've met in the industry and stuff, how much you're still learning, and you've been doing this. How long have you been guiding over there?
You mean all day today, or?
Oh, no. How long you've been guiding as your business? Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
As a business, yeah. How long you been doing this?
Filing taxes and everything, about 10 years.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Experienced guide, and you're still learning things. That's what's great about fishing in the outdoors. I just think you can never learn enough.
Well, when you had Pete Main on the other day, I think I listened to that show 3 times.
Yeah. What did he say that you learned? What'd you learn from Pete?
When you're throwing topwater, don't let it be the first person in your boat, and don't let it be the go-to.
Yeah.
That was one thing I learned from him. There was one thing I didn't agree with him on, because I've listened to a bunch of his shows now. The trolling part, I do so much better casting for them muskies than if we're trolling them.
You do better casting on Geneva for muskies, right? Or
Geneva and Pewaukee, yeah. Trolling's a flip of a coin. But one thing he said in one of his other podcasts was, I think he was on Jason Mitchell's.
Yeah.
So for every fish that you see floating on the surface, there's 9 that didn't float but that are dead.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that was definitely an interesting fact.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
God, there was something that he said on your show that I didn't. He said, in the fall they come up shallower. Yeah,
with weeds.
I agree with that. When our Cisco spawn in Geneva, which is our first full moon in December, they come up shallow. Until that happens, and end of November, I was still catching them in 20 feet of water.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was one other thing that he brought up. There was a lot of things, though, listening to him on your show, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
you just kind of caught me off guard because there was just a couple things where I was like, huh.